Hey guys, Ramadan Mubarak. It's Ramadan now, so I thought why not make a video about a beginner's guide to halal investing. I'm not like an expert or a scholar or anything like that. I'm just gonna go over some basic things that will answer maybe some big questions or clear up some big things that people get confused about. Hopefully, if you are trying to get into investing the halal way, this video could be like a good starting point for you, and then you could do some more research on top of that. So guys, as I said, I'm not an expert or a scholar in this topic, and whatever I'm telling you is based on research I've done. I'm not citing all the sources because I don't remember all of them. I just know that this is the mindset I use when I invest, and I think this would help a lot of beginners who have literally no idea about this. But you should always go and do your own research and ask other people. But I'm gonna try to give you some basic starting points of things that you should think about or look into, or things that I've researched. So the first major thing that, from what I know, is haram, and a lot of people do it because they don't know, is trading on margin and holding the positions overnight, or leverage. Because when you're trading on margin, you are basically borrowing money or something from your broker, and if you hold the position overnight, at least with the apps that I use, they charge you interest if you hold a position overnight. If you close the position on the same day, then they don't charge you interest. And interest, as we all know, is haram. So that's that. As to whether futures itself is haram or halal, I don't know personally. I personally do it sometimes. I don't do it much, but I actually don't do it at all anymore, but I did used to, and I don't know. I don't think it's haram, but I don't know. Some people say that it's just like gambling, whatever, but I don't know. You could argue that just investing in stocks could be something similar as well, depending on how you invest. The next issue is, what companies are you allowed to invest in? From what I know, obviously, any company which their major source of income is something haram, for example, interest-based lending or alcohol or anything prohibited, and that's like their main source of income, then the whole stock is haram to like invest in. From what I know, the allowed amount of haram income in a company that can still allow you to invest in it is that the haram income of the company should be less than 5% or up to 5%. This is a kind of disputed matter though, but from what I know, I just try to avoid companies where the haram income is more than 5%. I actually do need to go over my portfolio and look into things more, because I've bought many things in the past when I didn't know some of these things. So now you know them, now you can maybe check them before you invest in something. And the third main thing I'm going to cover in this video is the thing about a company having more than 33% interest-bearing debt. So generally, any company on the stock exchange, their debt is generally interest-based, and pretty much every company has interest-bearing debt, and it's kind of something you can't really avoid anymore. But what you can avoid is investing in a company that has more than 33% of their market cap is interest-bearing debt. So there's many different interpretations of this. There's differences of opinion or something. It's like a bit of a confusing matter, but the most accurate thing I've found is that if the long-term and short-term debt added together and then divided by the market cap of the company is more than 33%, then investing in that stock is haram. And I might have some companies like this, so I might have to like review, and I might have to maybe wait till I break even and get rid of them, or I don't know what's gonna happen. Or maybe when they break even, the debt will become less because the market cap will be higher. I don't know. It's a bit of a confusing issue, but it's still something to just be aware of and keep in mind. I know that Rolls-Royce had a very high debt out of their market cap, and at the time I didn't know, and now Rolls-Royce's market cap has grown so much and they've paid off their debt that it's not really an issue anymore, so I've just carried on holding it now, and I hope that's fine. I'd be really upset if I have to get rid of it, but if I have to get rid of it, if for any reason I found out that something's haram, I would get rid of it, because there's no point in earning haram money, and if you give up something for God's sake, He will give you something better. And then there's options trading, which some people say it's haram, some people say it's halal. The issue is that options trading is so complex that even a lot of bankers and investors and stuff like that don't even know like exactly how it is and what the workings are. So they just base whatever basic knowledge they have of options trading, and they bring some relevant hadith or something, and then they say it's halal or haram. And the thing is, you need to find someone who is as knowledgeable in Islam as he is about options trading, and there's not many people like that. It's very hard to find. There's this Islamic finance guru thing, and there's some people like this. I forgot. I've probably seen like their videos about it or something, but I don't remember them now. So one issue people have with options trading being halal or haram is that they say that when you, for example, short an option, you're like selling. When you short a stock through options, you're kind of selling something you don't have when you sell puts or sell calls. But the thing is, I don't really see that you're actually selling something. You're actually buying like a selling contract or something. I mean, look, even I don't fully understand. I even heard a story of the first options trade that was ever done in history, and it was like ages ago in like ancient Rome or something. And some guy, I can't remember the exact story, but he saw a guy who was selling milk or something, and he thought the price of milk is gonna go up, so he went and paid him for like an option to reserve the price of milk or something like that. So then when the price of milk went up, he went and bought it at the price that he had reserved it at, and he had paid like a premium for it at that time. And then when the price of milk went up, he bought it at his lower price that he had reserved it at, and then he sold it at a higher price to the people. So I mean, I feel like if someone did this today, it wouldn't be an issue. Like, no one would say this is haram or halal, or like it would be a normal thing to do. It would just be like, oh, he's smart, he did that. So I don't see why options trading would be wrong. If he was to do something similar, but like shorting the price of milk, like reserving it at a lower price, or something like that, I don't see how that would be haram, but I could be right or I could be wrong. So anyway, this is just some food for thought. Please do your own research. Again, I am not a qualified scholar or Islamic person of authority or anything like that. I'm just telling you what I do for myself, and it's kind of like a reminder to keep your money halal and clean, and don't forget to pay your zakat as well. And as for paying zakat, from what I know, like there's different opinions about this, but I just see what was the minimum amount I've had in my portfolio over a year, and I pay zakat on that plus any cash or gold or other stuff. And that's of course if your total net worth or your wealth or whatever is above like a certain amount, which is weighed in gold and silver and stuff like that. And if you're unsure about anything, I just pay like the extra, because you never lose money from giving charity. Some people say you only have to pay the zakat on your portfolio when you liquidate it. I don't mind. Giving charity is great. Just do it whenever you can. That's all for this video. I hope this is helpful. Feel free to share it with your family and friends and whatever. Spread the word so that everyone is doing the right thing. I'll see you next week.